Hi, this is Mary Lurson, Executive Director of the NAMM Foundation, coming to you from Nashville at Summer NAMM with the EnterTalk Radio partnership on Facebook Live, and also with our Talking at Music Education podcast brought to you by the NAMM Foundation. Please let people know that we're live here at EnterTalk Radio and NAMM Foundation from Nashville with the conversations with some innovators, from musicians, music teachers, and talking about the what we believe in together, the value and importance of music education and music making for all people. I'm delighted to have with my guest, Mike DiCesare, who is here from the Albany area in New York State, here at Summer NAMM. First time at Summer NAMM?
First time at Summer NAMM. Yep.
Wow, first time at Summer NAMM. So welcome to Summer NAMM in
Thank
Nashville,
you.
Music
Yep.
City, Nashville.
Thank you
Lovely
for having
to
me.
have you.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about a remarkable innovation that Mike has shepherding and managing and putting into the world.
Yep.
And we will get to talking about that together with looking at the device or the instrument, really, itself. But first of all, we always at Talking at Music Education want to hear about people's personal, we call it your origin story.
Okay.
Your music making, music education origin story. Do you play an instrument?
Yep.
When you played it in school, tell us about
Sure.
when it all started for
Sure.
you.
Wow, I was young, really young, and I started playing the trumpet. My dad introduced me to playing the trumpet in, grade school, really. And it's something that I picked it up, and when I picked it up, I really couldn't put it down. It was.
And where was that?
That's in. I grew up in Scotia, New York.
All right.
So it's a little bit.
Up on the New York Thruway.
Yeah,
near
exactly.
Albany, yes.
Albany,
yeah.
Schenectady,
Yep,
Troy. Yep.
Right. So it's still home for you.
It's still home for me. Yeah.
So you had a program available in your public schools.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, we say this. I mean,
Yeah.
me too. Oh yeah, but that's what we're fighting for.
I can
so,
remember
right?
lessons in fourth grade.
Right.
Where I would go for a half hour, and it would just be private lessons basically for there was no cost or anything like that. But yeah, we had a really intensive
It was
music
considered a
program.
part of the well-rounded curriculum available to every
Absolutely.
child, which is the thing that NAMM and the NAMM Foundation
Yeah.
are working on very hard for all children. So that you're a brass player.
Brass player.
And
Yep.
did that carry through high school?
Carried all the way
and-
through high school. I literally played. That was kind of my identity.
Sure.
You
were a band kid.
Yes, I was. No
Right.
question. I remember going away to competitions and things like that.
Marching band, wind ensemble.
I did the
whole
marching
bit.
band. I will be honest with you, marching band was not my favorite.
Well, I think that's an honesty that can be
Yeah.
shared by many. It's something we do for our school and community.
Yes, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
But I loved the jazz band, and that was my thing. So
And were you a music major in college? Did you follow through?
I did. So I didn't major in music, but I played in band in college in some jazz bands and things like that. And I played in some big bands after I graduated from college.
Great.
But so it kind of stuck with me for a very long time. But I things got kind of sidetracked with the music and being a trumpet player. It's not a clear path to
Right,
you
you're
know.
right. I mean, it's just, it's like, do you become a professional gigger and
Yeah.
worry about, driving 200 miles for 2 hours and
Yeah.
not being able to pay for gas? And,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
It's like the life of all musicians.
Yep.
So it was really important part of your development from the very beginning.
Huge.
Right?
I mean,
Yeah.
really almost my entire identity, growing up, because that's what I like to focus on. That's
And you
really
had
what I did.
rigorous training, too.
Yes,
It was
absolutely.
high quality, rigorous training. Did there were certain teachers stand out that were really influential and significant for you?
Yeah. So I took a lot of private lessons throughout, but really, I think my high school band teacher really was a major factor in it, because she made it fun, and I still have friends that I played in the high school band with that I still see. Like, I went to a jazz festival last weekend with a friend of mine who's a drummer in those bands. So
It's-
yeah.
Once you play whatever it is, a Susan March or
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Gustav Holst suite
Yep.
or Nellie Bell or whatever it is, when you play that music that's challenging when you're growing, you kind of stick together.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
It's really,
Yeah.
which is again why at the NAMM Foundation, and at NAMM, we're so committed to making sure every child has that opportunity. I say because we had it.
Oh,
and, and you had it. I had it in Wisconsin. I always say I grew up in the middle of nowhere, which I really did.
Okay.
But it was there for me. It was fourth grade lessons
Yeah.
and ensembles. And
it's surprising to me to hear that kids don't have that opportunity, to be honest with you, because music is something that you can do regardless of how big or small you are, and I mean, it's not like it's a sport, so it's
and it's there for life.
It's there,
It's
yeah, and
exciting.
it's always there, yeah.
Well, speaking of which, what you have done in your in the time since you were learning music in school, when you talk, it said people of all abilities,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
You have gone on to create a patented,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Patented
Yep.
musical instrument called the Jambox.
Yes.
And why don't you show? Let's first
Sure.
of all, I would say it's an outgrowth of the harmonica.
Exactly. Can you guys see it? Okay, great. And this is the Jambox. I'm holding it in my hand, but we had initially designed this for my friend and next door neighbor who's a quadriplegic from a skiing accident. So he didn't have the use of his hands or the dexterity to play keyboard or anything like that. But what he could do is play a harmonica. And like you mentioned, an offshoot of the harmonica, we decided to make a MIDI controller that was hands-free, that you didn't have to have that use of your hands.
So this can be mounted on a stand.
Mounted on a stand and a bracket, and you can just
Okay.
play.
And then I'm seeing as you move this, that this moves here.
Yes.
So in other words, instead of the instrument moving, the person who's playing it
It's just moving.
is moving. Somehow this moves. It's very, very light and beautifully calibrated.
Yep.
And then this all connects with, where is the
There's
USB?
a little micro USB
It's
port.
just like when I plug in my bike light to
Yeah.
get recharged.
Sure.
It looks like that, and
Yeah,
that
same-
just
same
or
thing
your
as a phone.
iPhone.
Yeah.
Your iPhone.
Yep.
And that goes right into an iPad, an iPhone,
Any
or anything that has
computer,
a-
mobile device,
Yeah.
tablet.
And then this is going to connect to a speaker system.
external
or-
switch.
I see.
So basically, it could be a foot pedal. So we have people that use it as a foot pedal. We also have
So they can do all reverb and all sorts of
all kinds
effects
of
and everything.
crazy stuff.
Oh boy.
And but also if you're disabled and you want to cycle through presets, or you want to hit a button to make this do anything, because it's a MIDI device, it really can do anything that you can do with MIDI. You would just hit the external button that you can mount anywhere.
So let's go back to what we know when we practice an instrument.
Yep.
That things take time,
Yes.
right? How long did this take you to come to this version of the
This
of the
was a
device?
very long time. This is our 5th generation. So when we started out, it was really just a piece of metal with some off-the-shelf parts that we had.
You must have
put
that
together.
on
Oh,
your
yeah.
shelf somewhere.
Yeah, we do. We have our old
Right.
versions. Yep.
Right.
And we did whatever we could to manufacture it ourselves, and we made a bunch of them and sold them to people really all over the world, because for disabled individuals, there's not a ton of options when it comes
Right.
to musical instruments.
Especially a quadriplegic.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
we know that there's some really solid adaptive technologies
Yep.
that they're, key extensions
Sure.
and the one-handed piano.
Yeah.
There's even been pieces written for left hand only
Mhm.
or major pieces. But, if this level of adaption is pure innovation.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, I
really
appreciate it.
is.
So this is literally our 5th generation of the product, and we had a lot of technological challenges to overcome
Oh,
throughout
yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
We actually have our own.
What's the human interface, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, exactly. And the electronics in here are actually we had to make from scratch. The sensor, the linear sensor that is in here, we actually patented as well and made. So it just was a very big lift, and but we've had a lot of support along the way.
You said you were a music minor in college.
Yep.
Were you an engineer? Or were
No,
you
I wasn't.
I mean,
No,
where
no.
did this tinkering come from?
Yeah, that's a
This-
great point. So I get asked that question all the time, And I'm not an engineer by any means. I was a business major.
So you understood that you could take an idea and
Yes.
you could scaffold and you
Yep.
what it took to maybe
Yes.
prototype, market, patent. So you had that.
I had all
strong
that background
skill set.
and
Yeah.
the music background. So when I started working with Dave Whalen, who I invented this with, it was just a natural. I mean, I really just got sucked into it.
You could
And-
see the possibility, and it just needed structure and
Yep.
a direction and a plan. And, right.
Yep.
And here you are.
Yeah.
How many patents are in that?
In this, there's, well, probably 3, I think. And then,
Which is a challenge in its own right.
yeah.
To
Yeah.
secure patent. Are they design patents or
Yes.
they are design patents?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, many times with a device like this,
I don't know if they can still see it.
the underlying patents, I think if they can see your face, they
Okay.
can see
All right.
the
Yep.
device.
There it is.
I think if with a device like this, the underlying patents become as quote unquote valuable as the device itself. I don't know
Sure.
if that's happening with you as well.
We-
because the technology
Yeah.
that you've actually invented. to
Sure.
make
So,
this
so
work.
we view this as a platform technology that allows you to really control all kinds of different things. One of the offshoots of what we've been doing is because with disabled individuals, they tend to have decreased respiratory function, especially if you're in a wheelchair all day and you're not exercising, you're not moving around. This actually, we feel that this might be able to help with that. I mean, you're playing, you're exercising
It's
your
more of a
lungs.
therapeutic.
So there's some
function,
aspects to
yeah,
it like that we're exploring.
So
right now.
basically, this fits in the mouth, and it's
Yep.
an inhaler. You inhale and you blow
Yep,
both.
exactly.
Both, like a harmonica.
Yes.
Totally harmonica
Yep.
technique.
And the great part about, like you mentioned, the curve to develop this, part of the challenge was to make this as simple as possible for anybody that could use it. So take not only the hardware but also the software. The digital audio workstation interfaces tend to be centered towards pro audio people. We had to simplify all of that because a lot of our customers in the beginning that we didn't really realize. I mean, for us to go through and to work on an Ableton patch or something like that wasn't a big deal, but for the parent of a disabled child has no musical experience or is brand new to all of this, we had to make the software interface easy to control, easy to understand and configure. So that was another big challenge on the software front.
So it sounds like it can be something that can be used for music learning.
Yes.
For someone who's disabled, as well as your friend Dave.
Yes.
Who was really before he became a quadriplegic, he probably knew music.
Nope.
No.
No,
So
he
this
was not a
brand
musician.
New for him as
brand
well.
new. Yep.
So as part of his kind of re-entry into a whole life
Yep.
after. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
where is how is Jambox being used now? I mean, how is it finding its utility and how is it inspiring
Sure.
people? And
So we have there's 2 sides to our market really. We have the musician who's looking to expand their capabilities on stage or in the recording studio that use this, but there's also obviously the disabled population. So that could be a whole range of people that are cognitively impaired or physically impaired in all ranges of disability. So it's being used as a recreational tool for a lot of people, but it's also being used in the school music programs. So we have had a lot of success with disabled children, either in a special needs setting in the special needs department, or mainstreaming a disabled kid into the school band.
right.
Which is what we're
so
really
important.
excited about.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
And because that really gives, and we've got a lot of examples of that, and how, you have kids that this is their instrument in the band now, and, before this, there really was no option.
Right. Right.
so-
How exciting! I have to learn more about that.
Okay.
I want to come and see that.
Sure.
Right.
You
I
got to
think-
come up to our office. You're close.
I'm not far. It's just
Yeah.
a little bit of a road trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've talked a little bit about the uses of technology. This wouldn't be possible without MIDI, right?
No, not at all.
And that great gift to the universe.
Yes, yes.
Right, of MIDI,
Yep.
open source MIDI access.
I
right?
wouldn't be here if it wasn't for MIDI.org.
Yeah.
Because we reached out to them last year. They invited us to the MIDI.org booth
Yeah.
in Anaheim.
Right.
And that's how this has blossomed, and our relationship with NAMM has really taken off since that. So
Oh, that's terrific.
that was all Tom White.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, yeah, we have
Yep.
great respect for him and
Yep.
what he's done with the MIDI community. But again, that decision that MIDI would be a platform that was really accessible
Mm-hmm.
to everyone,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, it
To build
would
on.
not be, this would
Yeah.
not be possible at all without MIDI.
Right,
No,
yeah.
no question.
Yeah, it's really, really amazing. So what's next for Jambox?
So we are expanding, and we are very excited about it. We want to, we're making a major push for our product to be in the schools, and we're focusing on the special needs departments, and also, music teachers that want to, they might have a kid that could really benefit from this and play in the school band, and we're really making a push towards that. So that's where our focus is to really, we think that the Jambox could be in any school district. Because every school has a kid that could use this, and it's just a matter of letting the people responsible for getting that kid a musical instrument or whatever they would want as far as equipment to know about us
And lowering the barrier of understanding of what it needs to, what you need to interface effectively with technology.
Exactly.
It sounds like you've worked really hard at that.
very hard.
You
Very
know,
hard.
and I
Yep.
think for the rank and file music teacher serving hundreds of kids,
They don't have
they
the
kind
time.
of go, can
Yeah.
I drop everything and understand how to use the software so I can bring these wonderful, musically capable kids into the orbit? But you've
Yeah.
really solved a lot of
We've
that.
taken care of
And that's big.
a lot of that.
And
Yeah,
that's big.
yeah.
Yeah.
And another push that we're making too, which is it's just been fantastic, is this growing field of music therapy. And so this is used in all kinds of recreational settings, in hospitals, in any kind of day program for adults that have special needs, that type of thing. So we're witnessing the music therapy, it's booming. We've been going to some music therapy conferences. It's amazing how many people are going to school for music therapy, and the effect
It is
that
amazing,
really
yeah,
has
yeah.
on people.
Yeah, I think
You know.
we've realized the power
Yep.
the power of music to
Sure.
heal, promote, inspire.
Yep.
Look what it did for your life.
Yes, exactly.
Overall,
Yep.
right. So it sounds like you're also building a bit of a community,
We are.
right?
Yeah.
Tell us about the community and how people can get connected.
Well, on our website, it's Jambox with 2x's.com, and we have a community section on our page, and also our Facebook page is Jambox Music. But we're really bringing people together. We have people from all over the world that have the Jambox that are submitting videos and sharing their experiences with the
So
Jambox.
you can view musical riffs of people, what they're
Sure.
playing, what they're sharing,
Yep.
what they're,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, we have
Oh,
a sponsored artist program, and
that's so
an
great.
artist on our website.
Like
so.
a real musical instrument.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's like, to lower the barrier of learning and participation is just terrific.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
and lowering the barrier too. One of the great things about this is, for me, how many years it took to finally sound good playing the trumpet. And you run into that with any musical instrument, really. I mean, you have to practice and practice and practice.
100,000 hours or
Yes,
10,000 hours.
exactly.
yeah.
Right.
Right.
With us, when we click on, if you want to play the trumpet or you want to play the violin or you want to play whatever, you are going to sound fantastic because it's the sample that's playing.
Mm-hmm.
So the learning curve really has gone away to sound good, and we can program this in any scale. So immediately you're going to have some form of success with it and not get frustrated.
So you can get to other things like being creative.
Yes.
And understanding the elements.
Yes.
And working on being able to manipulate the elements
Yep.
from what you're hearing in your head, and right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the opportunity to go quicker to the
Yes.
Yes,
And
I
not
think,
not worry about the technique as much.
Developing the strength
know,
of the embouchure.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Though that, there's no secondary to that.
No.
I mean, that's its own path,
That really
worthwhile
is.
path.
Yes.
If one can be on that path and one wants to be on that path. But yeah, it's really terrific. So tell us again how to find you. Give us the website.
It's jambox.com.
With two X's.
With two X's. And yeah, I mean that's
And
really
the Facebook page.
Facebook page.
Jambox Music.
We just had, there's some great videos up on our Facebook page. We just had Dave Whalen. I mentioned a little bit before. He played the Jambox. He played the national anthem in front of a bunch of people at a minor league baseball team game in Troy, and we're trying to get him to go play in the major league sometime. So
all right. So if there's a marketing director of a major league ballpark
Yeah.
somewhere,
Yeah.
you have something really unique and very celebratory.
Yes.
To realize that another tool has been invented that can really expose the strength and power of music that's in all of us.
Mhm.
And so congratulations.
All right. Well, thank you very
Is
much.
this taking all of your time now?
Yes. Well, this company is, but we're focusing, on a lot of the healthcare applications as well. So I'm full time with the Jambox.
This is your baby.
Yep.
This is your baby. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations to have birthed an instrument
right.
into the world.
Thank you.
That has allowed people the opportunity that they maybe thought they lost forever.
Sure. Yeah.
Or that they couldn't have.
Well,
it's really very powerful.
And you see a lot of the, what we're seeing too is really people that were musicians their entire life. Maybe they have MS or ALS or some they've been stricken with something where they can't play their instrument, and we see that people are using this and it's really bringing back that ability. So that's a really big impact too.
That's great. So I've been so fortunate to be here with Mike DiCesare, who has invented a new way for people of any physical ability,
Yep.
and even those who want to experiment with a new way of making music, this Jambox MIDI device. And we're so grateful, Mike, for joining us here at Summer NAMM. We hope to see you around the NAMM universe.
Oh yeah, I'll be
a
around.
lot.
You got it.
Yeah. And that we can understand how this is changing the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yet again, a musical instrument helps to change the world. Because we all do believe here at the NAMM Foundation and Talking at Music Education the value and importance of making music for every person of all ages and abilities. So thank you for being with us for Talking at Music Education live from Summer NAMM in Nashville, Tennessee. And thank you for being part of it today. And thank you, Mike.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.